All right, so I am here with my client Richie, and he's did an absolute great job. So what I'm going to do is I'll have him go through everything with you guys. All right. So first, start off with your name and where you live.
Hi, yeah, I'm Richie Lancashire. I'm from Annapolis, Maryland.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
oh yeah,
awesome, awesome.
good name.
So yeah, right. So one, I want you to explain what your situation was before starting with me and Generation Fit.
Yeah, so I've known Chris for uh, I mean, I think 10 years now. Um, always knew he's into personal fitness and training. Um, he's always jacked, so it was kind of cool. Um, but my situation leading up to starting the program here was, I wasn't really working out. I was just eating whatever I could get my hands on. Uh, I'm an accountant, so I work behind a desk all day, and for periods of the year, I'm working 12 plus hours a day. So my outdoor time was limited, uh, and that kind of makes me feel like shit. Uh, there'd be days where I don't see the sun. There'd be days where, I'd go straight from working 12 hours to playing 4 hours of video games and then getting into bed watching Netflix. Um, you know, I enjoy doing those things, and I still can. It's just that, after living that lifestyle for 4 years after COVID, um, you kind of look back at what have I done? Like I'm a bum. Um, and that hasn't affected my work at all. My relationships are still okay, but it, I was noticing they could have been better. And yeah,
Gotcha. Yeah, awesome. So in this case, you found us. Well, we obviously known each other, and then provide we basically provide beneficial services to each other. With me with finances, you with training. So it worked out. But what were your initial thoughts about going through this process? What did you think was going to happen, or what preconceived notions did you have?
so I think the biggest preconceived notion I had was that this was going to be a major shift in sort of like a hassle. This was going to be a lot of work. This was going to really upend my life, and prevent me from, enjoying some of the free time and activities that I typically would.
Hmm. Good. And then, were there any doubts and or fears about starting this program?
Yeah, I'm not somebody who's ever dieted or ever bought into any sort of trendy diet. Yeah, I've tried intermittent fasting, but um, sure, I lost a couple of pounds here and there if I tried to. But you know, actually getting on a specific regimen, I didn't know if I was gonna be able to do that. My wife and we share meals, so I was concerned about maybe that not working out. And also when I'm socializing with friends, like I go out to dinner a good bit, and you know, I was nervous how this would impact my ability to go out and enjoy myself with friends and family.
Hmm. Yeah. So then let me see. So what made you say after all that, right? So then what made you still decide to go through it anyways?
Well, I was, really, it's a good question. It's sort of something that kind of has the, a flip needs to switch or switch needs to flip inside, like, because you need to commit, right? Like ultimately it's up to you what decisions you make. I think one of the biggest motivations for me is, my wife and I found out we were pregnant, and that kind of was sort of like a fork in the road for me. It's like, well, all right, like how am I going to be the best father and husband, and best support for my family? Um, And, I didn't think that the choices I was previously making would lead to the best outcome. Um, and I mean, that's like kind of a broad thing to say, but um, if I wanted to make change, like I knew there would be specific decisions that would have to be made, sort of on the micro side to lead to those actual macro changes. And food was one of them because I love cheesesteaks and burgers and fries and McDonald's.
I still love them. I don't know what you're talking about.
I still love them too, but yeah, I think I would default to getting Taco Bell on my way home because it was a long day. Like I'll just quickly pick up a two cheese quesaritos, and I found out is over 2,000 calories.
Yeah, dude, they're brutal. All those foods are brutal with calories. Papa John's pizza, the
Sorry.
yeah.
My favorite food are cheeseburgers. Specifically with bacon and barbecue sauce and double patties and onions and lettuce, and if you shove a bun in between it, it's even better. So the bigger the better. And yeah, it's kind of hard to achieve fitness goals when if you eat only that. But I wasn't trying to achieve fitness goals prior to starting this, so.
Yeah, so then you were there. Sorry, so that was what that was you back then. So then where are you currently in your situation? Basically, this is now month 6, right? Going into month 6. So where are you now versus where you first started?
It's I think my mindset just every day has changed. Um, when I'm out with friends, when I'm at work, when I'm making food down at the fridge, I'm looking at things in terms of what it's going to do for my body, what it's going to do for sort of my overall fitness goals. Um, like the amount of protein focused meals that I eat now is just insane. Um, I've never been a snacker in my life, ever. It was always like I eat my meals and I make them count. But now it's like I snack and I snack a lot. And, you know, Chris showed me some things that, hey, like this is going to help you get your targets and also taste good. So now I'm like, I snack all day, between protein bars, the protein chips, uh, Greek yogurt, uh, beef sticks, jerky, all that. It's been that those are things I wouldn't even buy at the grocery store prior. And now it makes up a considerable portion. I have like a recurring grocery list that, whenever I'm at Giant or Trader Joe's, I'm just like, I know exactly what I need to get, and I'm plucking those first.
Yeah, and then in terms of well, first you thought you wouldn't be able to eat out or enjoy time with friends. So now, how are you delegating with all that?
It eating out was, I think, the biggest shift for me because when you have goals and intentions and you go to a grocery store, that's just on you. There's no outside pressure on what you buy at the grocery store, like outside of like Kellogg's marketing trying to get you to buy Frosted Flakes. Um, but when you're at a restaurant with your significant other, your friends, everyone's grabbing huge beers and getting the wings, ranch. Just having to sort of sit down and look at the menu and identify something that A, you want to eat, and B, also helps you achieve your goals. Uh, that's the biggest shift on the restaurant front. And I personally found a few things that I really enjoyed at restaurants that are common. Um, I like filet mignon, so I think every restaurant has some version of that or some version of that with a salad. And that was one of my go-tos. Sushi, uh, my wife and I's favorite dining out experience. Instead of getting the chef special roll drizzled in spicy mayo and eel sauce and 17 different types of ingredients, I started getting the sashimi combined with just a little bit more basic rolls. Sometimes I still get a chef special roll when I'm at one of the places that I've got to have it. But I love sashimi. I didn't realize how good it was. Um, so just starting to see the menu in a different light as to there's more options out there. So I think overall I've eaten a wider variety of things than I ever have in my entire life because I'm not just defaulting to my burgers.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So then here, now that you're going out to eat, now that doing your groceries, getting butcher box, the whole nine, right?
Butcher.
I want you to talk about where you first started with your weight and then where you currently are or at your lowest.
So when we started about 6 months ago, um, I had I was around 184.
Hmm.
So and that was limited working out, no change in diet. I'm currently at just over 160.
Damn, 24 pounds. 24 pounds in 6 months' time. So basically a pound a week from there. And then how does that make you feel?
Oh, fantastic! Uh, it's awesome. I mean, uh, you know, I'm not really a person who likes to flaunt or brag. I kind of like having my own victories. But it feels pretty good when I'm walking around the office and I haven't seen somebody for uh like 4 months and they're like, "Damn, dude, you lost a lot of weight. Like, where's all that?" And I mean, so it feels fantastic. And I think also, one of those. You ever wear this is probably the smallest, and maybe people can relate to this or not, but when you are wearing a hoodie and you take off your hoodie and your shirt comes with you.
Mhm.
I used to have the feeling that I need to immediately like yank that back down or like hold it down while I take off my hoodie.
Uh-huh.
Now I just let the whole thing come off. And I'm just like, look, take a look. So that small thing.
Well, I mean that's one of them. So like in terms of weight, the way you took off your hoodie, so it's like now you're more confident with your shirt off.
Yeah. I mean, we started after summertime, so there wasn't really much beach. I'm also not the biggest beach guy, but um, I mean, I would probably seek out experiences because I feel totally much better with how I look and how I feel. Um, I think generally I have way more energy to do things. I was telling Chris like my lifestyle in the past 6 to 7 months has just done 180. Like I'm out and about now. I always been more of an indoor person, kind of just hang inside and let life happen. But you know that's changed. I'm sort of out, making things happen now, and I think this has had a lot to do with that.
Mhm. And then what are you able to do now versus what you were not able to do before, or any massive changes that have happened in the last 6 months?
Oh man, well, whew, I think my overall fitness levels is they're just way higher. Um, like I just noticed when I'm moving things around the house, when I'm carrying those five gallon jugs back to the car from the grocery store, like it's no longer a workout. This is just another exercise. I'm like I'm there. Um, you know, I think generally it's just my energy levels are insane. I can go for longer. Um, I don't really play athletic sports anymore. Used to play baseball. Used to you know frequent any sort of athletic activity. And that's less of a part of my life now. But I feel like I could step out on a football field and absolutely crush somebody.
It's absolutely choke somebody.
Yeah, no, like, I mean, yeah, no, I feel like I feel like I could compete in collegiate sports again. And honestly, by the end of my college baseball career, I didn't even think I could compete. Like, I was just eating pizza and drinking beer. So now I feel like I could step out there and I'm, on par with these guys, probably kick their asses. Um,
Hell yeah.
yeah.
And then what positive impact did you have on others around you now that you have changed 180 in the past 6 months?
I mean, I think the most impact I've had on is with my wife. You know, as I said earlier, we share meals. We eat almost every dinner together, if not sometimes breakfast too. Um, so I think because of that, a lot of the meals that we were having before, like really pasta heavy, you know, fried foods, things that maybe microwavable dinners from Trader Joe's. Um, a lot of those things we've kind of cut out, and now I'm driving a little bit more of the the culinary decisions, and I think that that's actually you know benefited her as well. Like the butcher box that we get, she knows now that hey, when we need a meal, like we're cooking pork chops, we're cooking chicken tenderloins, we're making ground beef, we're making fillets, salmon. We've got these sort of rotations of high protein meals that she's grown to enjoy. I love them, and I think she is pregnant, so different sort of diet and stages here, but like um she's I think that that's gonna help her health ultimately, and also I think it helps her while she's sort of recovering from the post pregnancy, and just her energy levels are lower, so I've been able to compensate with that, and also play a bigger part in what what we're eating and our daily um, you know uh, trends really.
And do you think this is going to positively impact you as a father as he's about to come out? He's about to be popping any minute now, or
Yeah,
she?
yeah, yeah. I'm I've had it in my mind. It's like when sort of dramatic, but when I think about what my daughter's going to think of me, um, and I want her to think back and be like, damn, like as a 29-year-old, dad was good looking. Uh, but, but I mean that's superficial. There's a lot that goes into being a good father, but um, I generally I think just the lifestyle is way more conducive to being there for your family. Build those relationships up, because that's like, I mean, there's nothing more important.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. So you basically a role model for your future daughter. So then, all
Oh
right,
yeah,
last one.
scare away any sort of potential boyfriends.
Yeah, exactly. Show off the guns, and the next thing they're gone.
Yeah, yeah. If they can't bench press 225 when they step in the door, they're not coming back.
Yeah, right. I don't make the rules.
Uh, we'll, we'll let them pass if they can squat and deadlift. But
Yeah, exactly. All right. So then, last one. So, what would you tell somebody who's watching this right now and is unsure about taking the next step?
oh, I mean, that's easy. You won't regret it. It's I mean, the impact that it has on your lifestyle, and you feel the benefits before you actually start seeing them. But then all of a sudden, one day you'll look in the mirror, and then you're like, shit, is that the same person? Like you might feel it first, but once you start seeing it and you start comparing, hey, this is where I started to where I finished, it's crazy. It's like a 180. I couldn't recommend it more, or less, more. I couldn't recommend it more.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's it. Well, Richie, thank you, brother, for
Thank you,
being on
Chris.
this call. No, of course, man. You're the one that put on all the work. I just, guided you here and there.
You're don't downplay yourself. That's this is your program, which I fit my life into,
Oh,
um,
absolutely. Yeah.
and it fucking works.
Yes, it does. Well, I mean, for context, so we got some pop up. So Richie did start off at 184 pounds. and then went down, and currently sitting at 160 and floating there after being sick 3 times in the last like 3 to 4 weeks, which is incredible. The fact that there's a big virus going around right now in this time that we're speaking on January 30th, 2025. But even through those trials and tribulations, just know that Richie went from basically just like a regular, I would say, skinny fat dad bod. Like he just had a little small little gut, smaller chubby little face, but nothing crazy, right? Just a little bit overweight is actually where I started. And now he's basically 4-pack at any lighting and is basically shredded. So when you guys, when this populates, it will be like bang. This is what Richie looks like, and you'll see right here and there, and you'll be like, holy crap, that's a massive difference in just 6 months' time. Right? So for anybody listening, just know that it is possible, and Richie is another example of just doing what he can, fitting in his meetings, right, in his lifestyle, and being able to make a massive change. So, any last words for anybody listening to this right now?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I was most surprised about was the actual amount of food that I ate did not change that much. Like I mentioned earlier, I would eat 2 to 3 large meals a day, and now I feel like I'm eating all day, and it like through counting calories, I know that I'm not eating more in sense of calorie wise, but I'm eating way more protein. I'm having more snacks, and I found food that I love. And these are things that I probably wouldn't have tried or had I been on my previous diet. So it's if you'd be worried about like, oh, I don't want to starve myself. I don't want to, I don't want to eat just like a cup of rice every day. No, that is not at all what this is about. And I was surprised with sort of the diet changes and what you can actually eat while accomplishing your goals.